Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success. Peace, family. How's everyone doing? I sat here, which is different. Because I was trying to show like all the snow happening here in New York City, but you really can't see it. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to. But peace, family. We're so happy to be. Oh, yay! There's Hassan. Hassan, it was tough with the snow getting in here.
No, almost didn't make it.
That's what's up. You just come in at the nick of time. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I miss anything? What I miss?
No, you just missed me saying I was trying to get the snow in the background, but yeah, you guys have to just go to IG and check out all the pictures of the snow up in New York City right now. Yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead and start.
All right, family, peace, family. What's going on? Glad y'all joining us on this day of snow right now. You know, it's a little crazy out there. It's supposed to get more crazy as the night goes on. But we all good. We warm. We inside. We safe. You know, I hope everybody else is safe. I see they got a what's it called out here? A curfew at 9 o'clock.
Gestapo.
They said they want everybody off the street by 9 o'clock. You know, but I get it though, because you know, people still be trying to get to where they got to get to, but it just causes chaos on the roads because you end up getting stuck. Yeah. So I definitely get it. But we got a great show coming up. And you know, I noticed that we always say we got a great show coming up, but they be great shows. So it sounds like a little cliche, but they do be great shows though.
They really be great shows. And the thing about it is that, and I feel like when I look at the videotape, it's like, I feel like I say the same thing all the time. It's like, I'm so excited for this next guest, but it is a level of excitement because I feel like we are in a space where there is so much information out there, but that we have elders that are with us that are literally just keep feeding us. So and we have access to them. They're still, like our guest tonight has written many books. She's still writing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is such a good time to be Black, and to be alive. It really is.
Definitely. She's gonna come on and she's gonna put things in its proper place, and add context to it because there's a lot of misunderstandings going on when it comes to this topic. But family, as always, we want you to like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Commenting is very important, and even though some of y'all comments be kind of wild, it's cool. And it's cool to a certain degree. Nobody's really being disrespectful like that. Even because I'm a comedy dude, like I like comedy, right? And there's some lines that are crossed, but it's still got a comedic edge to it. And sometimes we'll get some of those in the comments and it'd be like right there borderline, but it's still got a little bit of comedy to it. But, y'all continue leaving y'all comments and, having y'all little dialogue and back and forth, just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not going to be respectful, we ain't going to be able to get to some kind of common ground to move forward. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, turn on your notifications because you don't want to miss these shows coming up. Because what'll happen is you'll get like behind 5-6 shows, and you may not end up going back to the show that you missed, and you may miss something good. You may miss something real good. What you gonna say?
No, I was going to add to this. So I got the word that we are actually only 37 subscribers away from getting to reaching 37,000 subscribers on YouTube. So for all of you guys that are looking at us on YouTube, because it's real interesting, right? We see, we got 36,000 some followers, but we look at these videos and it'd be like way more people watching. So we actually need for you guys to subscribe. And even if you think that you're subscribed, because a lot of times we'll just come up on your feed. If you watch 1 or 2 shows, it will just come up on your feed and you think that you're getting us, but you're not actually subscribed to us. And that's super important. That's currency. And so we need for you specifically, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, to just go to your YouTube page and make sure that you're subscribed to our channel, HAPI Film. Okay, because we need to be able to, get those subscribers. At the end of the show, we should be like, oh yes, we got 37K. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely important. Also, what's important is subscribing to the newsletter. And by the way you do that is you go to hapifilm.com and just register for the newsletter, put your little bit of information in and you'll receive our monthly newsletter. And in our monthly newsletter, it's very informative. So you'll receive information about different things that we may have coming up, like our HAPI in Africa trip coming up. You'll also be a part of our Welcome to Black History Month series that's been going on for the month of February. And that's interesting as well because, we'll talk about that later on because we got a little surprise for y'all that, coincides with that. So click the stay connected button, you stay connected, you get the information. Also, did you talk about the film?
No, I was just about to put that up there.
Yeah. So also, go to Amazon Prime, Quayle TV, Tubi, and check out our HAPI documentary. Very informative, dope film. It was a lot that was put into this film. A lot of time, energy, a lot of great scholars, elders, a lot of information that they gave us pretty much to give you, know. So also our Cash App. Our Cash App is very important as well because our Cash App, that helps us with our in-studio shows. I don't know if everyone's seen our in-studio shows, but our in-studio shows are dope because it's a different vibe. It's a very intimate vibe. We have our scholars, our elders, our economic people, our healers, we have them come to the studio and build with us, but that costs money. You know what I'm saying? So, the Cash App helps us with that in studio, just to give y'all like a different look, because sometimes, it gets a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a pattern. It's like a repeating pattern of just seeing us here, virtually. This way in studio, it's almost like you can actually touch the person. We could touch the person, but just that visual and the sound quality and all that makes a big difference. So hit us up on that Cash App, and that helps us in a lot of different areas, not just the in studio.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to just add on to that, I just want to thank everybody because those in studio sessions, we've been cutting them up and just putting them in little reels, and you guys have really been receptive to those. And that like when Hassan talked about the continuing commenting, that's what helps us to get it to more people. So the more we stay in the comments, the more Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, the more they shoot the videos out. So then we get more followers, right? And ultimately, it seems like, we just want followers for ourselves. But no, the more followers we get, then we get a chance to get all the people that we're holding up, all of our elders and all of our scholars that come with us. We're able to get their information out more because the videos, they have us in it, but we're usually just like, really? Okay, what about this? It's not even about us, but it's really about what they're saying that gets out. So we're trying to get more people to see what we're doing over here, because the scholarship is off the chain, in terms of, of people that we have that's coming through the HAPI doors. So so just to kind of tie all this in, so it's like it's the comments that's important, and then like this Cash App piece. There are so many things that we're doing that, and we only, really just use other Black people to do these things, down to the graphics that you see, the stuff that we're posting, the editing of all these videos. These are all Black folks. And when I tell you it costs money, it 100% costs money. And so when you guys like hit us up on that Cash App, it doesn't even matter what amount it is. We're very grateful, but it goes such a long way. Because the more, with money, it's just energy. So the more people are putting energy out there, it's contagious. And so it's really something that, that we need for you guys to do, is to hit us up on the Cash App. And it's right down there. Yeah. Happy Film. Yep, it's Happy Film on the Cash App.
Definitely. So you want to bring in our guest now? You got any other spring cleaning to do?
Yep, our last thing. So you know what, family? We've been doing a series over with our Happy newsletter, and that's why it's important for everybody to to be tapped into the to the newsletter. At the beginning of February, we actually started to do this Black History piece. So every day we've been sending out information about Black history, right? And Hassan has, has been curating this whole Black history experience, which has been dope. I tell you, it's literally been very eye-opening. Just some things you're like, oh, I know about this, but then you watch some of the videos he's posting, you're like, okay. And so we've had quite a few people join the newsletter. So for everyone that's joining the newsletter for February, you haven't received any of these Black History Month things because I haven't added you onto our email list, but you will be added for March 1st. And so for people who are not subscribed to the newsletter, okay, if you're not subscribed to newsletter, but you sent your information in, and so we're giving everybody, you have like a week left, okay, because we're going to replay those just for that group of people who have not been subscribed to the newsletter on March 1st, okay? And so it's super important that if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, for you to send in, just go to happyfilm.com. It's stay connected, hit the button, put your name in and address, and you're on our list. And then you'll start getting the Black History moments every day, okay, for the month of March, which is interesting because there was one that Hassan did, and I looked at the videos and I was like, wait, is that our guest? This is like our guest. She was like a little girl almost. She had black hair and she's like talking. And I was like, what? I was like, this woman has been around for a minute trying to activate us. Okay. And so I was like, this is so cool. And I didn't even know, and that's the thing that's beautiful about this, because, I didn't even know, that, I know that she's an activist and she's been doing it all her life, but all the videos that you sort of see out there, she has like the big, like gray afro, but this, like, she was like a little girl and I kept looking, I was like, I know this voice. I was like, oh my God, that's Bayyinah Bello, so yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, family, so make sure you're connected to that. And then there's one more last thing, and then we're going to bring in our guests. So family, yesterday marked 61 years since the assassination of Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. And I had the opportunity, which was great, to go to the Malcolm X Betty Shabazz Center up here in Washington Heights, the Audubon Ballroom, and they had this event for him, honoring him. It was magnificent. It was magnificent for so many reasons, because as you're sitting in the very ballroom where he was assassinated, it's like his spirit is there, but it's also the spirit of everyone that came and they spoke. They did a whole section where there were 6 specific elders that they were paying homage to, and then they had some vanguards of people who are doing Malcolm X's work right now. And and so I know that, you know, a lot of times, like when he's assassinated, we see his picture, and then on his birthday, we see his picture, but then it's kind of like we're not really seeing his picture no more. And so I want to, you know, really encourage everyone to think about, like, take this time to really think about what he means to you and how you can look at some things that he's done and to continue it in your circle, whatever your circle is. There's so many things that he left us. And there was a woman, the New York State Senator, who spoke last night, and she said something about knowing your assignment. And she said Malcolm X was clear about his assignment. And when his assignment was done, then he left. And she said, so she urged everyone in the room to figure out what their assignment was in life and to get on with it. You know, and that was, you know, one of the things that he left for her. That's one of, you know, it's just one of the things that she shared. So, you know, I just wanted to just make sure that we, you know, really think about, you know, not just a celebration, you know, of Malcolm X, but really to pass on things that he's taught us, like in our everyday lives. Yeah. And watching some of his old speeches, and they released the autobiography, the 100-year centennial version of the autobiography of Malcolm X. They released that too. You can go to, I'm sure, on Amazon, or go to the Shabazz Center and to their website, and you can also, you know, purchase that if you wanted to. But yeah, it was just a very beautiful night, and I just want to make sure that I just give homage to this great king. Yeah,
definitely, true indeed. Like Brother Kaba says, invoke the spirit of Malcolm.
Yes, invoke the spirit. Yes. Okay. So like I said, our guest. So usually, you know, we just bring on, you're like, oh, come on, you know, Nana Bello. But, you know, I think we need to we're going to read her bio, because I don't think you guys know how dope she is. You know, there's some of y'all that know, like, oh, you know, I know, but I don't know if you know the extent of this woman. Okay. And peace to shout out to everybody in the chat. I see King Simon, Tiffany is in the house, Black Magic Mike. What a name, Black Magic Mike. Tavoris, like all of our old people, John Jackson. These are cats that have traveled with us. So peace to you guys. So we're going to, Hassan, you have it up?
Nah, I don't have it. You
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna send it to you. I'm sorry. I'm going to also send it to you, but I'm going to start the reading of this. And so listen, so family, don't be trying to eat me up in the chat, because some of the words I may not say correctly, but it's okay, because I already told Nana Bello, and she told me not to worry about it. She said the way I say it is the way I say it. So there it is. So yes. So Vodou V Bayyinah Bello is a daughter of AT, forged in the spirit of resistance. This, our historian, educator, and author doesn't request justice. She demands it through relentless application of Ubuntu principle. This Haitian great-grandma has been on the front lines of a vital intellectual planetary war since the 1970s, exposing the suppressed our story of the children of Al-Bukalan, Tamaria, Kama, since the Ma'afa. Early formation, forging a weapon of truth. So Nana Bello was born in Port-au-Prince, her roots deep in the soil of Banet, Bacan, Belair, Petit Goave, and one other place. We'll ask her. La Vie Banan. She was raised, not merely educated by great grandmas, grandpas, aunts, godmother, mother, friends, and others. Her mother, a secretary and nurse, instilled a discipline for healing. Her father, a lawyer, professor, and diplomat, provided the tools of discourse and law. But it was her critical theory perspective that shocked him, a sign of a revolutionary mind she would become. Her family legacy was not one of passive inheritance, but one of mandate to build and to claim what is rightfully Haitian or Tamarian. Her academic journey was strategic mobilization. She studied across multiple continents, Alkebulan, Europe, American, Caribbean, Asia, Australia, not to assimilate, but to aim herself with the knowledge necessary to dismantle colonial narratives. She mastered the languages of the oppressor, French and English, to better deconstruct their lies, reclaim their narratives of Tamaria, Kama, Asian Bio. Furthermore, to distance herself from numerous grammatical rules changed when enslaving notions and simmering in highly toxic, prejudicial regulations. That's dope. Life's mission. So the war on the war for narrative liberation. Nana Bello's life is single, sustained, offensive against centuries-old enemy, the false narrative. For too long, the story of our revolution, the planet's only successful slave revolt that shattered chains and built a free Black nation, was told by enslavers, colonialists, human traffickers, monetary profiteers, and their intellectual lackeys. Their biased accounts were crafted to deem our brilliance and instill self-defeating concepts deep within consciousness. Vodou v. Bayyinah Bello embarked on decades of meticulous counterintelligence, unearthing primary sources and our stories to reclaim the legacies of our revolutionary sheroes and heroes. She gives them back their humanity. Yes, she gives them back their humanity, their complexity, and their power while planting their seed principles deep within readers and listeners. Are you with me, Hassan?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
You have it?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to continue?
Yeah. So these are the key fronts in her struggle. Combat education for 44 years. She has been training new soldiers in the Army of Truth from her bilingual primary, secondary, Catildo International School. Her classes are not passive lessons, but observation tours, exemplifying in the phrases, "You eat, you see it." Her lectures at various faculties and universities are calls to action, connecting the past battles directly to the present struggles. So foundation Felicity. That's a French word.
Yes.
This was not a simple act of remembrance. It was a strategic operation to remove Marie Claire Harry's Felicit Bonheur, aka Empress Felicit of Haiti Empire of Freedom, from the amnesia imposed by our enemies. The foundation is a command center for justice, health, prosperity, and education, the essential pillars for a sovereign nation. Groundbreaking our historical research. In 2000, she mobilized the living memory of our ancestors, interviewing over 108 centenarians between 100 and 126 years old. Her work of Dessalines is a direct attack on his caricature, restoring him as the brilliant military strategist and visionary liberator he was. Hint, hint. She forces the world to recognize the Shiros. Aunt Toya, the Dahomey general who in the heart of a slave plantation trained Dessalines into a freedom fighter, Sinette Belair, the 22-year-old pregnant lieutenant who faced minutes apart at the execution of her beloved husband, General Charles Belair, while encouraging him to die bravely, followed by her execution without blindfold, while she herself gave the final orders to the executioners. Her search continues into the nearly 2,000 women troops led by Marie Janae Sharpshooter and protected her generals. So it goes on and on and on. We won't be able to read the whole thing, but we just wanted to read that because we felt it was her just due to get the credit for everything that she's been doing and the foundation that she's laid down thus far. I don't see her on the screen at the bottom. Do you see her?
Yeah, she's here. We're about to bring her in.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. So without further ado, family, this is Nana Bello.
Bayyinah Bello.
Hey.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I know we did is she there? I know we did a bang up job on the name. I apologize about that.
Please, it does not, there's no need to apologize.
Okay.
All of us are speaking the enemy's language.
True indeed.
And we have laws,
Yes.
or we are not as sharply attuned to words from our own languages.
Absolutely.
But that will change.
I like that. That will change. And listen, you know what? When Hassan was reading, I was thinking that's one of the posts from the Black History Month. We talked about both those two women that's in your bio. So I was like, wow, like that's what's up. That's cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we're here to for you to share some context, get rid of some. We'll talk about some miscommunication, some communication that has been directly miscommunicated when it comes to voodoo with ill intentions to actually not get us to buy into voodoo. And we would like you to share first, what is voodoo? And then I guess you can start off with why would they want to, who were the first people to try to separate us from this spirituality that comes from Africa?
Thank you for the question.
Yes.
Well, let's start with what is voodoo?
Okay.
The clearest, maybe the simplest way is to say voodoo is our sacred science. It is a science that we have developed way before IT. We must not be trapped into words, okay? Yeah. As I traveled around and went around and met Ifa, Santeria, Obea, Condomble. Everywhere I went, I found that we have the same principles and we have the same essence. Now, in different spots, different areas, we name it different ways and we use it. We have certain practices that may be different, but in the essence, it's the same thing. Whether in East Africa, West Africa, North Africa, I have never been to South Africa, Central Africa, I could say, like in the Congo, we find that the principles are the same. First, we recognize that we and the cosmos is one. It's not two, it's not 1 million. We're one. Whatever we do, the elements, we always first recognize the elements. When we pour libation, for example, you could pour libation with water, element. But when you're pouring libation, are you just pouring some water here in the plant and the whatever? Or are you aware that you are holding the waters of the cosmos in your hand? And with that power, you can do, when you truly, you and the water is one, you can do what you want to do. The same is true for today we will say the candle, but actually it's not the candle, it's the fire that we are dealing with. So we're dealing with the elements, water, fire, earth, air. And once you're there, you're into a science because everything that exists is made from these elements. So let's say, since you mentioned a revolution and people who went against, in Haiti, what made Vodou particularly noticeable by the enemy is because in what they used to call Saint-Domingue, what was first called Haiti for more than 3,000 years, and then the Euro-Christian invasion changed the name of the space to Saint-Domingue, to Hispaniola, and a whole bunch of other names. And then we renamed it its proper name, Haiti. So using the knowledge of the oneness between humans and all that exists, the elements. So when we went into war against the enemy, it enabled us, being ourselves and using our own techniques, our own understanding of life and art of war. We whipped the Spanish army, we whipped the French army, we whipped the British army and declared Haiti independent. And from that point, they realized that, yeah, even when we didn't have any weapons, apparently any of their weapons, we had no guns, we had no cannons, we had no cannonballs, but yet we could win the wars. So wouldn't you, if you had been whipped by that kind of worldview, that kind of sacred science, would you say it's a good thing?
No.
I don't think so.
Nope.
So that's all there is to it. Wherever we use our own knowledge, our own sciences to win in situations, of course, they're going to turn it into something diabolical.
Yeah.
But as we have observed now, as more of us went into the enemy's church, more of us went into the enemy's schools, more of us went into the enemy's universities, more of us went into the enemy's fighting tactics and techniques and strategies, the enemy always wins.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
So is there it's I was talking to Hassan about this conversation that we're going to have, and I shared with him that yesterday I was coming home from a different event, and the Uber driver was from Haiti. So I was like, oh my God, like, listen, you got to tune in tomorrow. We have this Haitian actors. Like, I was so excited to tell him. So I told him the name of, the conversation we're going to have. And it's like, I almost like stabbed this man. And he was so like, no, you can't have her there because, voodoo's not good. It's evil. And I was just like, dude, do you, like, you're from Haiti. It just seems like you should understand this a little bit more, right? So can you just talk?
No, I just told you. Where did he go to church? The enemy's church.
He did.
Where
He
did
did
he go to school?
Christian. He did tell me he was a prop.
Enemy's school. Well, what do you expect?
Yeah.
All right. Simple facts. The Euro Christians have slaughtered millions of Africans, stolen all of Africa's land, an entire continent, and continue to steal everything we have underground, underfoot. They have slaughtered millions of Asians. They have genocided the native people of the Americas. No one has really numbers that make any sense. The numbers I read as to the estimate of how many people were murdered in the Americas is just like even my 6-year-old grandson wouldn't swallow it. Okay, but we, with PhDs from their universities, we say it proudly. 50,000 people were, or 50 million, 20 million Africans were slaughtered during the math. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the kind of thing we have to understand. If you go to your enemy's school, then your enemy teach you what is supposed to be truth. And if that's what you operate under, of course, you're going to hate your mama, hate your papa, and love the enemy.
Sounds like the same old game run on us all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, the 7 principles. I don't want to bang up the name of it. Is it Loas?
Loa.
Loa. Loa. Okay, I was close.
Yes, you were very good.
Yes. So
Yes.
I want you to explain that to us and teach us. Teach the viewers as if, not like I have to tell you this, but as if someone is totally not familiar with African spirituality or anything African based. Because for someone that's aware of African spirituality, they can kind of put 2 and 2 to match it up when you're explaining the 7 principles.
Maybe, depending how much of the Euro-Christian garbage dances in their mindset.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. So, okay, with that being said, please explain it to us and give us a couple of the principles.
All right. The universe works with principles. When we see the sun, it's not like we say, oh, I wonder, will I see the sun tomorrow? Well, it might be cloudy or something, but we know the sun is always there. Yes. And when the sun always comes, depending on season, at specific times. And it has a specific course that it follows in each season. So that's what we call science. When something is done repeatedly, regularly, in a specific way. Okay? So when we talk of 7 principles, a principle is a way of doing something or a way of observing how something is done that is always the same. It's always done the same way. So in Haiti, we call that a loi. When we say dambala, or we say legba, or we say ogu, we're talking about a loi. A loi is a principle. And a principle like legba is the principle that enables you to take conscience of opportunities. So we call that legba open doors. He opens gates. That's the easy way, the language to everyday person. But if the door is not open, you don't know where you could go. You don't see opportunities. So legba is the principle of opportunities. So when I'm looking for a job, or I'm looking for my road, or I'm looking how to get to Felicia's home, I definitely will call on the principle of legba to open the way for me, to show me the road, so I can get from one point to the other.
Sorry, that's the national alert for.
Okay, so simple principle. When I'm looking to transform, to change things. Then I have the Ogu principle, who's the transformer. So in order, for example, and Legba can be expressed in many, many ways, including when you're looking at a person. If a person is functioning naturally by character, the person is a Legba person. So you will find that this person always is creating opportunities for others to get what they need. So when we look at our personalities in the artistry of the country, you will recognize that someone like Toussaint Louverture is a Legba. He came, opened the way, created the road, placed the forces for independence to be. That's what Legba do. And Ogu is the one who will transform a enslaved nation into a free nation. So that's Dessalines. So anyone operating, when I look at Malcolm, I see a Dessalines, I see an Ogu, except this Ogu functions strictly with his words. Each word was a bullet. He didn't use a weapon other than the words. So anyone that we're looking at makes it easy when we understand the principles. We look at each other and we can recognize who is who. So if I study the three of us, let's say we want to create an organization, and then we study each other, and it's evident Bayyinah is not a Legba. Felicia is not a Legba, but Hassan is a Legba. So we want to put Hassan as the first ruler in our organization, because he will create the way for this organization to grow.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I'm sorry.
He's qualified to do that. Okay, so that's the way, and it's everything in nature is that way. The principle of opening, the principle of creating opportunity, the principle of transforming, the principle of defending, the principle of attacking, the principle of making rain, the principle of making food grow. All these are principles of nature. And when we understand the principles, we are part of nature. We're not something different, human beings. We function with the same principles. Once we understand that, it's a lot easier. We're not going to fight about who's going to be the first head of the organization. Because if we have any good sense and we know the principles, we know that Hassan is the best qualified, period. Bayyinah may become later, but first, Hassan has to open the door because he's the one who has that ability. Okay. And if we start fighting among ourselves like stupid folks, we waste a lot of time and our organization doesn't grow.
Yes.
That's, you know what, as it was, when you were thinking of, when you were saying it, I was thinking that I could see how if you have an ego about, yourself, and you feel like, well, I need to be, a Legba, I need to open, and even though you don't have the skill set to do that, I can see how infighting starts. So you really have to, like, everyone needs to be open or understand these principles of energy.
Yes.
For things to go smoothly. It seems like.
Of course. That's why certain things, once all the elements are in the right time space, then everything flows. You don't hear Mars trying to pass Venus in anything. Mars does what Mars has to do, and Venus does what Venus has to do, and Earth does, and everything goes well.
Yep. Yep. So these principles are the principles that fall under the umbrella of Vodou, right?
These are cosmic principles.
These are cosmic principles.
Simply Vodou has structured them and made them easy for humans to understand and function with them.
Got it. Got it. It makes us understand it because they're using names and personifications.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. So the personification for Legba, what would that be?
It's an old man, a very, very, very old man who can hardly walk but can run so fast.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
Okay. And when you, in fact, when we look, Legba also speak all the languages of every life form.
Mm.
So if you say something, address your, let's say you're addressing the sun. For some reason, you need the sun to help you with blah, blah, blah. Then you say what you say. Legba will tell sun what you just said. And Legba will tell you what answer sun has given.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's why we say Legba is always at the crossroad. He is the translator. He connects the various life forms.
Okay, so Legba is a male principal?
Yes. Legba is generally a male principal. But every male, there is no such thing in Vodou of a principal without the counterpart.
Absolutely.
So Aizan is Legba's counterpart.
Oh.
Can you explain that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Aizan created distance, measurements, weight, size, dimension. So everything that Legba needs to create a road, Aizan created the tools for him to create the road. Without measurement, you can't create a road. Without measurement, you cannot make, without degrees, without structure. Aizan is the one who created all of that. Everything Legba needed is created by Aizan. And Legba uses all of that to create what he has to create.
And that shows that they both need each other, right?
Yes.
Male and female.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we go to Benin, they will talk about the first people being Maulisa, the first principle being Maulisa, the twins, Mau, the female, Lisa, the male. And that's why for a long time in Benin, you never had a king, but you had a queen and a king, or actually what the ruling person is not called a king, a queen. She is called a woman king and a male king. That's what rules the country. See, a lot of people, in fact, that bought The Woman King as a film. And it was funny because at some point we discussed it with a lot of different groups. And most people didn't even understand. The queens are the wives of the king. They don't have any particular governing power. But a woman king is a totally different thing. She earned her title either through war, to what she accomplished.
Yes.
She does not become a woman king because the king liked her, because she looked good.
She had to do some things.
That's right. She had to accomplish.
Yes. So do you find that sometimes people take these energy principle personifications as literal people?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Many people do.
And that's where you go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And you miss out on what you can do, how you can use the principle.
Yeah.
Even for yourself. Just like if I take a leaf, if I take aloe vera leaf, for example, they often write in books that aloe vera can cure 912 or whatever number of illnesses. If I take basil, they'll say, oh, basil can 375, whatever. Well, it's just according to different operating the information in the leaf and the various combination operating in it.
Mm.
And the same is true for us. I could be in a situation where what my natural tendency, let's say, is to be a Ezeli Dangta, who's the transforming warrior, female warrior. Okay. But if I know enough about the principles and we are in a specific situation, I can choose not to show my Dangta qualities, not to put them out in this particular space time. If I understand that what would be best right now is to have a legba or an aizan functioning, then that's what I will do. Even though that's not my natural way of being.
Mm-hmm.
But once I understand it's about principles, and principles are recipes as to how to get things done, then
Yes.
I will choose in specific situation to be whatever I feel is needed for the collective right now.
Yes. Yes.
So one must really study these principles and then start to look at how they can manifest in their own lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the more you understand what is instinctive in you and what are all the other possibilities that are there, but you can initiate them, you can ignite them. You don't have to be just your instincts all the time.
Yeah, you can be in more control of like what you're doing.
Absolutely. Because you're part of the universe. Every principle of the universe live in you.
Absolutely. Family, make sure I put up the link is in the chat for Nana Bello's book, The Seven Loas. And I had a picture of it up earlier. So family, make sure, listen, you know, after reading this bio, like Nana Bello is not playing around with us. She's studied in a lot of different spaces to be able to then condense all this information so that we can just read it and get it. Okay. So please, family, make sure that you are supporting her by getting this book. I got my book last year, and wait, you know, did you come up with the ebook yet? I didn't see it online.
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. So listen, fam, you just had to get and it's a hard copy book. It's not even like paperback. It's hard copy. So that means you can have this for a minute, family. So make sure that you are that you get this this book so that you can. She goes really in depth. And listen, I'm just gonna keep it 100. You can't like just read it. You know how some books you just like read like this. No, you literally have to read some of it and then like really think about it for a minute. And then when you come back, you reread that and then you add on a couple more pages, you know, so that you can understand what she's saying. So okay, so
excuse me, may I add?
Yes.
The book is designed for you with blank pages for you to write your thoughts.
Yes.
We don't want you to just swallow what we say. We want you to think about it.
Yeah.
And then take the time to write whatever it is that caught your attention, what you do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the first questions you were asking about voodoo in the book, and I was just like, I had like no, I was just like, I don't even know. Like everything that was flashing in my mind was not the way that you that later on when you talk about just the word voodoo, voodoo, and it's such. I was like, I didn't even know all of this about just that one word, you know, and how it's represented, you know, so many places. Okay, so you talked about Alegba, and you said Olu. That was
yeah, Ogu. Yes,
Ogu. Thank you.
Okay, one of the things you will run across is that, for example, in Benin, they say Ogun with a gluteal silent N. We don't. We just say Ogu, period. A U sound final. Okay. Yeah. So that's why you will find some people will use the Feng Bei way, and other people uses the Haitian.
Mm,
And
okay.
often we will find that in the various principles, in the naming of the principles. You know, in Benin, they will often talk about, Eshu Elegba. We don't have Eshu Elegba, we have Legba. Okay. And Eshu Elegba means the messenger and translator of the various languages, and Legba means the military. We were at war when we were creating this, so we don't need the messenger. We thought,
Yeah.
we'll just take the Legba. That's what we need.
Wow, this is so interesting. Okay. Wow. And the fact you can just go across, like you just know like the equivalent of, across all the different cultures is that's beautiful. Okay. So what's the third one? What's the third principle?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not like a hierarchy or anything like that. I
Okay.
chose 7 principles to share in this book. Okay. The most, to me, the most vital, the most ordinary, the most everyday, the most in your face principles that all of us are using and operating with and not seeing. Okay. So opening the door, creating opportunities, that's every day.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're looking for a job, and I know that Hassan has an opening. And I say, okay, girl, hey, check our son. I think you could find a job there. I'm being a legba.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
simple.
Leg by a lot.
We're going to a party. We're entering a store. Somebody opens the door and holds it for you. That's a legba.
Yeah.
Okay. He's creating opportunity for you to enter with ease.
So, with you was gonna say something, Felicia?
Yeah, I was going to ask, in terms of so when you're clear about the principle that you're using, is there a way that like these principles like to be celebrated, or is it you don't need to celebrate the principles, or you know what I'm saying? Like how do we pay like how are we grateful for the principles that we're enacting?
Okay. Well, in my book, the biggest gratefulness is to know it, is to be conscious. And the second is to use it properly. Because in the process, you come to know yourself, and you come to have greater control over yourself and what happens in your environment. If you totally, let's say, no self-control, your mouth run off without your mind ever even knowing what your mouth was gonna say. You speak words that are unnecessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of us just speak by habit. Every day I look at, I observe and smile. You meet people in certain states in the US, people like to greet each other, right? In New York, you don't have that. You just pass by, you don't look at folks.
What's up?
But in other states, people say hi.
Yeah.
And you say, how are you? They don't reply.
Yeah.
Because the conditioning is to say hi, that's being polite.
Yeah.
They don't even hear what you say.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it does not come from an understanding of human interaction, of being polite, of developing good manners among ourselves. It doesn't come from any of that. It's a conditioning. We hi, and that's it.
Yes.
So the person assumed that to their hi, I return another hi, but I never do.
Yes. Yes. So when we're talking about these principles and the personification that goes along with the principle, and the name that we use to go along with the principle. We see this in Kemet as well, right? With the
Of
naturals.
course. Of
Okay.
course, that's the source of it.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like in your studies, how far back into Africa do you see us using this style of explaining something that is unseen?
I don't know that I could say how far back. It's not from research, but my personal understanding, my inner self tells me that from day one of human life, we began questioning, identifying the unseen, because we come from the unseen. The unseen is not death, as the Euro-Christian wants to, has conditioned many of us to think of it.
Yes.
Okay? The unseen world is greater, far, far greater than the visible world. Okay? Right now, on that screen, I look and I see one woman talking. But I know there are many people here. And in fact, the Bambara people say, the people in the person are numerous in the person. So inside each one of us, there is a population.
Yes.
Okay. So just because I don't see does not make those people not being there.
Yes.
We have to, it's an important thing for us to, and most of us are being conditioned not to understand that. Even if we take it on a different level, you're looking at Bayyinah, but Bayyinah is the daughter of Marie-Christine Domerson and Yves Auguste, whose DNA is running through me. Well, my mother and father. So they're not here anymore in the visible world, but they're very present. Not only in my body, but around me.
Yes.
They're very present. If I run into a particular type of problem, my grandfather, when I'm broke, my grandfather was a genius at making money. My paternal grandfather. Well, I said, Louis Auguste, I don't understand. I'm your grandchild. How come I don't have the money to do this? Something is going to happen.
So now I want to go back to the negative aspect of voodoo.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
What people call as negative. So sometimes you'll hear people say, she does voodoo or he does voodoo. So it's like a negative attached to it. To me, that seems like it can't even, like, that doesn't even make sense that somebody does voodoo.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
But you see, in these societies, we are conditioned to talk nonsense. Example, on a daily basis, people say to each other, have a good day. How can you have a day?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. There is no have there.
Yeah.
Enjoy a good day. Enjoy this or that, but you cannot have it.
Yes.
But to return to your question, when people come to me with these things, I say, okay, I am very grateful that I had 25, 30 good years of studying the books and studying Euro-Christian history. Euro-Christians spent 1,000 years slaughtering each other.
Mm.
When they discovered there were other people, they made peace among themselves and agreed to go and slaughter, genocide, and kill others. And all of it in the name of Jesus. I have never heard that a Vodou structure of any kind going out to somebody else's land and starting killing people or doing any harm or stealing other people's stuff. So please tell me the history that I don't know.
Mm. You're right. You're right. And I think what else is people forget that you can use anything negatively. You know, something you can have something that's supposed to be used to benefit you, but you use it negatively to benefit you. And that's with anything, you know, we've seen it in all religions that they'll use something that's supposed to benefit you. Like some people will even use Jesus in a negative manner, you know, so I think they forget that, but it's the brainwashing that it is. And, you know, Europeans don't even have to do it anymore because we're doing the work for them.
That's what conditioning does to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having gone to your enemy's church,
Mm-hmm.
having gone to your enemy's school, having gone to your enemy's universities, your enemy has decided your worldview,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not in your own good interest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
So, I had a question about, I was asking, we're talking to Asan about this earlier, and you said something like, when we look at you, we see everyone that's made up of you, your parents' parents, their parents. So so this may be the Virgo in me, because I sometimes, I keep kind of just, it's like I keep analyzing something over and over and over again. But and I like kind of like order. So when you're thinking about God and you're thinking about the divine, like just who you are and who God is, and understand that you're part of God. Okay. So when you're praying and, or meditating, is there different entities that or is it all one energy? So when you're talking, or is it one entity? So when we're talking about these principles that are in us, and maybe if we're asking a question of a Legba or Ogu or any of these other principles, is this a direct, like, is this against the divine, or is this part of the divine? Wait, you can't look like that, because there's people like this, Nana Bell. There's somebody else in the chat, okay? Because also,
yes, it's no problem, Because that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Because I always feel like if I'm talking to my ancestors, then I'm like, man, I wonder, is God like, why are you asking them and not me? And then people talk about your angels. So I was like, well, what is all of this, and how? Yeah, you know the question.
Yes, ma'am. All right. It's very simple. We said in the beginning, I am a universe. Felicia is a universe. Hassan is a universe. As a matter of fact, in traditional Congo, the Congolese, they view each person as a rising sun. And they refer to each other as such. Okay, they'll see a pregnant woman. They will say, "Oh, when are you bringing your rising sun out?" Okay, the mama is a rising sun, and the child in the belly is a rising sun. So, in this kind of worldview, we don't have this thing of this is bad, this is good. Somebody has a list. If you smile this way, it's bad. And if you do it that way, it's good. No, everything is functional in the universe. Everything exists for a reason. And everything that is alive can communicate. So, do I need to talk about the one all in all, when what I need is, I need to go visit Felicia down the road. I need that rain to stop. I won't talk to the rain, damn it. I don't need, I'm going to talk to the sun. Hey, come on, shine. Make that rain go away. But more naturally, I will speak to the rain. Okay, I have something going on, and it's the wind, or it's the rain, or it's the sun, or it's the tree. I need a few leaves to make some tea. I'm going to talk to that tree. Please, I'm having a bad stomachache, and I need 4 of your leaves to make some tea to cure my problem. Please allow me. Just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Simple. Nobody is going to be upset. I needed orange leaves, and the I don't know, the star fruit tree next door is going to be upset because I talked to the. No, that's nonsense. Everything alive communicates. Everything alive has the ability to. You can communicate with them and do whatever you need to do. I'm on a horse. I need the wind to be in back of me rather than in front of me. Hey, I'm going to talk to that wind. Please go in the back and help me go faster.
Yeah.
I don't need to disrupt the sea. I don't need to disrupt anything else. Okay. So life is not. And you see, because we've been taught all these, the sins and the hells and the paradise and all this other garbage, even when we don't function within those structures, those things are in our heads.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, because I don't function in those structures at all. I can count probably on one hand. I mean, those times I've been to church, and that was with my grandmother, rest in peace, little Jewel May Harden. But So thank you for saying that.
Those things are in our heads.
Yeah.
So until we question them, identify them, snatch them out of our brain and toss them to wherever they need to go, they are functioning in here, and they are disrupting everything we claim that we adhere to.
Is it what we were taught that is harming us, or the interpretation, like how it was interpreted to us? Because you may have someone that will say, let's just speak about the Bible, for instance, that it was taught to us in the wrong way. It wasn't taught to us from an African's perspective. Do you think that can be the reason why as well?
Okay. I'll try to make a very short resume of that book that you call the Bible. First of all, every time somebody says the Bible, you're lying, because there are tons of them. There's the King James, there is the Louis II, there is the 12th century, there's the 14th century, there's the list goes on. So there is no the Bible, it's rather the Bibles.
Yes.
Number 1. Number 2, these books were written from documents stolen from us and changed the very essence of what it is, of the documents that they took from us, to serve their own purpose.
Yes.
So if even in the writing of the original text, there are lies, there are all kinds of changes with purposeful to harm us.
Yeah.
So why would I want to even bother?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I can't say nothing about that. Can't say nothing about that.
They even created a slave Bible, which they thicker pages. I think it has less than about a third of what the information is in the so-called other Bible, right? They make thicker pages, bigger letters, bigger font, whatever, to make it look exactly like the other. That is trickery.
That's so true.
And you give me this. And in those books, they remove everything that had to do with freedom. Every quote, even from their book. Okay? Now, we're not talking about the original text anymore. The original was with Constantine in Rome already doctored it up to do what he wanted to do. And since then, different kind of rulers did. Why they call this the King James Version? Why they call this the Louis II Version? Each king wanted to put his own stuff in there.
Yeah.
None of them were worried about Bayyinah or people who looks like Bayyinah.
Yeah.
So why would I waste my time trying to find what is really true, all the lies and all the everything that's in it? We know that. But conditioning make us attached to it. Conditioning make us, I don't go to church, I don't this, I don't that, but I gotta read the Bible. Why?
That's true.
So the negative aspect of voodoo when it comes to like foods or I'll just stay on foods and making like certain potions. Does that negative talk come from Haitian Revolution?
It doesn't come from the Haitian Revolution. It comes from the Euro-Christian lying mindset, the criminals and assassins and genociders. That's where it comes from.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you see, even the way you asked your question is already showing me so much of what's inside of your mind.
Yes.
Okay. Or the negative aspects of how could the enemy knows the negative aspects of. They don't. Okay. Number one. Number two. Again, if we go, have you ever read the story of the Vatican?
No.
No. Then you need to.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about the Bible, then you have to know how it functions. That is one of the most criminal and wicked places on this earth. Most popes are killed. These are expert poisoners. And we want to talk about the negative aspects of Vodou food. Come on. Let's talk about the negative aspects of Euro-Christian practices. Those people who slaughtered and create famine for millions of people. When we look at the good German Christians, what they did to the 6 million Herero people in Zimbabwe, in Namibia. When we look at what the Belge Leopold did to the people, we're talking about, it's like, even if there was a case, Felicia, who's a Mambo, so she put some poison in something and she killed one person, she killed 2 people. Why talk about Felicia? When you have people who create structures to slaughter millions at a time, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
After having made people after the Belge Leopold II, because one military Belge was killed in Congo, he says, what ethnic group is he from? The one who raised his hand on a Belgium. They say this group, I don't remember. He said, how many of them are they? They said 6 million. He says, okay, I want all of them dead. And I want you to cut the right hand of each person, each dead person, put it on a boat, send it to me so I can count. We're talking about, we are
that's evil.
saying hell to monsters, and then we want to talk about, well, but in Vodou, let's be for real. Vodou did not do the genocide in America. Vodou did not take the continent of Africa, cut it up into 54 states for their own whatever.
That's right.
Vodou did not slaughter. In fact, many people, all the people who rose up, the Africans who rose up and tried to fight for their freedom, always, they went back to African spirituality, their own sacred science. So what is our problem today?
Yeah.
That we are so sick, having gone to their universities, that we are not asking the question, how do we use what we have to benefit us? We are not asking those questions. How can we use what we have, our own sacred science, to protect ourselves? Because we're all in danger.
Yes.
These people are making plans to eliminate every Black person on this planet. And then we're going to have a conversation. Oh, the negative side of Vodou. We're not worried about the drones. We're not worried about all the fruits that they're removing the seeds from to create famines all throughout the planet. That is a crime.
Yeah.
That is a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
The only way to eat is to come to their seed bank and they can ask whatever they want for it. We're not threatened. We don't see that as a threat.
So, I did have because something that you said, in terms of when we're looking at these energies, the 7 loas, what is one of them, like which one is it that we use for protection?
You can have protection everywhere in everything. Everything can protect. It's not a law. There is no principle that does not come with its protection.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. If you're gonna deal with fire, there's a way for you to protect yourself. If you're gonna deal with water, there's a different way for you to protect yourself. If you're facing the wind, you have a different way to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So with these principles, are there stories that go with them, like how we see in other, like dramatization kind of stories, like Asara said in Haru?
Of course, there are stories and there are tons and tons of songs. We like to sing.
Yeah.
We sing to the trees, to the wind, to the rain, to the sea. And they sing back. They love, in fact, music. We are in a musical cosmos. The earth, as it spins, has sounds that it produces. So when you learn these things, you can recognize by the music who is talking to you, who is approaching you. So at home, we are more, we do have stories to answer your question directly. But we I think we tend to favor songs for almost every situation.
Okay. So in Haiti now is are there more people living Vodou than the other religions?
Well,
Period.
I don't know. I have not done a study. Any answer I would give you would be a study made by them. So
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be able to give you a decent answer or something that I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But I can say this, uh, the youth today is coming back.
Mm,
At some point, a lot of people were, well, first, people were forced. You didn't have a choice. Okay. When they decided they were going to baptize us, it was, do you take the cross or the saber? If you don't agree to become a Christian, we cut
yeah,
your
yeah,
head.
yeah,
Simple.
yeah.
Okay? So we have known that first generation that had to accept
Mhm.
this way. Down the road, there were other forms of, if you were all the negative talk and everything, shunning, uh, disrespecting people who are practicing voodoo,
Mhm.
um, threatening, and even in certain cases, yeah, killing. In fact, in Haiti, we had what we call uh, what they call rejeté. There was a governmental and church program to go about in the various spaces of voodoo, kill the people, the practitioners, and steal whatever they wanted to steal from there and then burn the rest.
Mm,
And
mm.
there were at least 13 times this happened in our history that a particular government with the church decided to do this. So, yeah, there are plenty of, so there were times where people were very much afraid
Yeah.
to to say, even though, some would practice in secrecy, uh, hide themselves to do it and whatnot. But today, more and more young people, educated young people, are returning to their roots.
Got it. Okay. And I know earlier you said that before it was Haiti, what were there were two names prior to that, did you say?
Okay. All right. For 3,000 years prior to the invasion of Euro Christians to our island, the island was known as Haiti Quisqueya Boyo.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, donc, Haiti. Now, in 1492, the criminals from Europe landed on the island,
Hmm.
started slaughtering people and imposing their ways and demanding gold, go dig for the gold, go dig for gold for that. So, in less than 11 years, according to their various statistics, some says 3.5, and it goes all the way to 10 million. They
Mm.
say the population was. But so I laugh at these things, even though all great scientists, intellectuals, and whatnot write them in their books.
Yeah.
How many people knew how to read and write in Europe in that time?
Yeah. Right. Right.
How many lettered, I'm not talking about intellectual, lettered Europeans
Yeah.
came to the island?
Yeah.
So then we have statistics, how
Yeah.
many people there were. Okay. You slaughter the population in
Mhm.
about 11 years, but before you kill them, you counted. A lot of the stuff I laugh, stuff I read in
Yeah.
books, serious scientific books,
Mm.
Euro-Christian stuff. I laugh at it because if you just question it 1 second, you already
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
to see that it can't hold water.
Yeah.
They say what they want, and mostly they lie.
So 3,000 years ago, who was living there?
Arawak, Taino, Siboney, Turpi. There were 12 various, at least 12 ethnic groups that were on the island.
Okay.
And a group of African made of people, Egyptians, Malians. And there's when the so-called Columbus landed there, he found Africans on the island.
Yeah.
Okay. The first people to come to the island were not slaves.
Yeah.
These were free African living with the Arawak, Taino, Siboney, the other people. Okay. So, of course.
I think that's important for people to know.
Absolutely.
You know, you're talking about 3,000 years, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people weren't aware of that.
So even if we look at 3,000 years, the Taino, the indigenous people were living on the island. 1492, the invasion. From 1492 to today, they have slaughtered practically all the native people, slaughtered many groups of Africans. For example, in Trinidad, in the 80s, for example, when I would go to Trinidad, there were many people that I could speak to in Haitian. They spoke exactly like me. And that triggered, I wanted to know why. And finally, I found in documents that the British had practically eliminated the entire population of the island. So they went to Haiti and purchased 3,000 of us and brought us to Trinidad to rekindle the population.
Wow.
So that is why Trinidadians and Haitians speak exactly the same.
Wow.
But starting in the 70s, school forbid everyone to speak the language. So today, there are very few Trinidadians who still speak Haitian.
Got it. Okay. One more thing I want to ask you before, Felicia, you could jump in anytime because
you got one more thing, and I got to ask her something. I got to ask because she's going to get in family. Listen, make sure you stay tuned because Nana Bello has the question for the day for the HAPI box. So go ahead.
Okay, because I haven't seen it since 2022 in Detroit, so I got to get in now because
That's right. Yes.
But, okay, last thing. So, wait, have you been to Kemet before?
Yes, sir, but a long time ago.
Long time ago. Okay. Do you see similarities in Kemet and Haiti?
Oh, yes, I do. We have in our language, for example, we have the word baka, but it's one word in our language, not the ba and the ka. It's the baka we have. We have different words like that, you know. And also, in some of our mountaintop folks, you will find you go somewhere and then somebody's name is Nefertari, somebody's name is, and when you ask, how come? And it's, well, my great grandmother, I'm named after my great grandma and I'm named after blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So there's not enough research. And certainly there's not enough research. Number one, there's not enough valid research. Okay. The tendency with intellectuals is to say, you found one group that mostly say, well, Haitians are mostly from Benin, from West Africa. Our language, the syntax of the Haitian language is Fon, from the Fong Bay in Benin. So we have a very strong connection with Benin. That's true. We'll find many names like Kwaku, Kwesi, Koshi. You'll find them in Haiti. Yeah. So there are many, many, many ways, but there's not enough because what the Euro-Christian dominant thing is, Haitians are a mixture of Africans, but mostly it's French, blah, 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 French this and French that, which is garbage.
Yeah.
According to some linguists, we have about 30% of our vocabulary of French words. We have 32% African words. We have 12% Taino words. Taino is different groups of original people of the island. So our language is made of,
a mixture.
So these are elements that could help understand how we view these, how the African heritage in Haiti. But anyone who's ever been to Haiti always say that's the most African country in the Caribbean.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
In foods, you will find the foods, the everything.
Yeah.
In a lot of things that we do.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, Felicia. I'll yield, Felicia.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking about how powerful this would be for us to using these energies, right, in a way that helps our organizations function. Because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, I can't wait to kind of go through your book and kind of think about like myself and all these different energies, but then how we all function over here in Happy Land. But there was also, I just want to just give everybody, just give you a shout out, because I remember when in 22, when we were this whole incident with us going to Egypt and this and that. And I remember when I called you in the thick of things, and you were so, and now that I think about it, you were speaking in energetic levels when you were, but when you said, okay, whatever the general says was what we're doing. And when you was referring to Taki, really like being labeled, like opening the roads, and this is the way we're going to go. So you are really, you really, it's not a lot of times where we talk to people where we see sometimes people are just saying some stuff, but you are really living this in every single way that you operate. And has that been something you've always done from a little kid, or is that something like, when did that start happening for you?
I think I've always been that way. That's why they had to walk me so often.
I was in your bio and I was laughing when they was like that part about your I didn't know that about your parents, but
yes. No, I've always been that way. My oldest memory in school, I was in a Catholic school, of course. And the year I was supposed to be doing First Communion, and the nun didn't stop talking about now that you're gonna do First Communion, you will go to paradise, and in paradise all the angels are white, you drink milk all the time, you eat whatever white something, white. And I said, oh, then I won't be able to go because I'm not white. And the nun got furious. She sent for the Mother Superior and blah, blah, blah. And sent for my family. No, they're not sure she can communion because, this is evil that she would have to even think that. You 8 years old. Wow. You tell me that everything is white in paradise. Yeah. And I'm looking at myself, I am not white. Yep. So what you expect me to say? Yep. But I've been teaching for 20-something years. Nobody ever said things like that. So they were very upset with me. So but that was a regular thing.
Yeah.
So this has always been you. That's what's up. Yeah, that's cool. We're getting ready to do this trip to and I was thinking about you when you were talking about Benin, and we're gonna go to we're doing Togo, Ghana, and Egypt this in August. What and when I was like researching Togo, because that's actually a place I haven't been to, and so I was
8 years in Togo.
You spent 8 years in Togo?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my! So tell us, like, what did you experience in Togo? I mean, like, what was something that you remember that stands out about Togo?
Okay. I have seen Togolese are very quiet people among the West African. They're the quietest people. You can have 50 Togolese in a room and you don't hear nobody shout. They're, they're talking very. I experienced Togolese did not smoke when I arrived in the 80s. Togolese did not smoke. And then the following year, cigarettes were all over, pictures of cigarette publicities for cigarettes, and in every restaurant, cigarette was free in Cotonou, in Lomé. And within a couple years, you couldn't get in a room without everybody smoking.
Wow.
So I lived this thing, how when these people decide they're gonna kill you, they bring their poison.
Wow.
And then after that, you have to buy it. But for about 2 years, everywhere you went, it was free.
Wow.
Okay.
This is amazing. I'm just like, I'm sorry, Bayyinah Bello. Like, this is amazing how, like, you're just telling a story about this particular smaller area in Africa, but that same thing, that same principle happens here. It happens in New York. It happens in America. Like, anywhere where we are, they give it to you, you get hooked, and then and then you're now it's destroyed half your population. Like, that is incredible.
Well, that's the way they function. They've always functioned that way. Now, from what I read, the same thing happened with sugar. Togolese, I read reports that Togolese in the 1950s, people were shocked how they did not have bad teeth. Everybody had, even 70-year-old people had all their teeth and blah, 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 blah. And then they brought in sugar.
I can't.
And then, things changed.
Wow.
But, okay. Now to leave Togolese have it's a people that I enjoy the years that I spent in Togo. They are easier what they were anyway at the time. I left Togo since the 90s. So they're easygoing. They are people who are fairly, respectful of their words. They are pleasant, agreeable people. Of course, I did not like their government structure and their head of state.
Yeah.
We lived in Togo during the time of, what do they call that? It's something that was going on all over West Africa, where government they were going to make major changes. And so people were coming to speak what's wrong with the government as it is now, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of people came and spoke about all the wrong that the government and particularly the president Eyadema was doing. And then at the end, the people who were running the show thought at the end they're going to choose a new president and, change things. But France, who financed the charade, said you can't remove Eyadema. So after everybody spoke all their heart out, and Eyadema don't play when you talk negatively about him, okay? So he agreed to have a prime minister. Kojo was the prime minister. Prime minister, about a month after they established the prime minister, I'm sleeping and I'm hearing, "Boh, my bed is shaking." And I jump out the bed. What's going on? I go, everybody's in an uproar. Everybody's staying home. Nobody should go to the street and whatnot. It turned out the president attacked the prime minister's office. At the end of the day, I sat on television to look at the news. The prime minister would kneel down by the president asking forgiveness. So some very, very interesting stuff. Really.
Wow.
But I love the people of Togo. I love Lupe.
Yeah, I'm really, and and they seem to be, I mean, a lot of, I was reading about like the sacred stone, and they have like, they call them voodoo markets. Like they had a lot of like interesting things going on. So I can't wait to get to Togo and see what's going
Yes.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's a nice place to visit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So family, make sure, well, not make sure, let me just tell y'all, if you don't know, and the only way you would not know is if this is the first time you're ever tuning into a HAPI show. But we are, HAPI is going to Africa August 20th to August 30th, and we will be we're actually flying into Togo, then we're going to head to Ghana, then we're going to spend a couple days in Egypt, going down to Luxor. This is going to be a spectacular pilgrimage. It's really exciting. We have a lot of people that are in the audience that have traveled with us, and so they can tell you about how it is to travel with us. And even if you don't know anyone, it doesn't even matter. You don't need to know anybody. As soon as you get to the airport, well, actually before, because we'll have Zoom meetings, but by the time you get to the airport, you already have a family of like 50, 60 people already. Yep. And it's a really just nice experience because it can allow you to do a lot of things. You can still be within yourself, within a community. We have a lot of good fun together, and we learn a lot of different things. But I think everyone is touched a different way. Once you start traveling to Africa, it's a very spiritual type of awakening event that happens. You can go to HAPI.com and find out more information. I will tell you that these tickets are going pretty fast. Yeah, a first amount that we put out, which we went to, we were probably going to go back to the airlines and say, hey, can we get some more tickets? And it may be more money. So I'm just telling you now, if you, perhaps got your IRS check back. I mean, is there still IRS? But what is it? Like
it's the best time to do it. Actually, it's the best time to do it.
Put down your deposit. Your deposit is $300. And you will, trust you're not going to be unsatisfied with this trip.
I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
Yeah.
And tell me, are you doing Cotonou, Accra by road or by plane?
No, so by road. So thank you for asking.
It's just an hour. It's really good.
Yeah, and there's a museum. Yeah, there's a museum on the way to Accra that we went to last year. Nakin or Nake, I can't even pronounce this. Nkechi. I think that's the name of the museum. And it's this Black sculpturist. He started crafting these sculptures of enslaved Africans, and he has them. He has this huge, as an outdoor museum. So they're all like kind of strategically placed, sort of. There's a part that's like sacred. That once you get to one part of the museum, you can take your shoes off if you want to, but it's quiet and you can't take pictures with people in it. So if you ever see pictures online, you'll just see his creations. And I tell you, it is that right there. I was like, I don't care what we do, going back to Africa, we've got to hit this museum, this living museum. And it's so sensorial because it's wind that's coming in and these trees. And so it's like it's a nice hot breeze, but then it's like the trees are flowing. It's like everyone's like, somebody is talking to us and you feel it, especially if you take your shoes and socks off and just walk through, and there's places you can sit down and just take it all in. So we're going to hit that place in Ghana and then continue on to Accra on our way from Togo. So, yeah, you should come with us.
Very good.
You should come with us. Like, that would be really great.
Well,
we'll look. Stomping ground. This is your old stomping ground.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, family, listen. If you can get it together and make this pilgrimage, it's well worth it. Right there, ICATtours.com. And we will, we can You have a good time. And also, family, listen, we started off with 37 people away from getting to 37,000 on YouTube. Now we're only 21 people away. So family, again, just make sure you are actually signed, that you are, on YouTube, that you're subscribed to us. Okay, just check for us. Just make sure you're subscribed, because if you're subscribed to us, that's fine. But if you're not, just hit the subscription button and help us get to 37,000 followers on YouTube. That would be cool. All right. So, before we ask the question of the day or the question of our live, because we only do these questions, Nana Bello, during our live discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Well, I will encourage the family to know that only 3 things are vital for our lives today. 1, the knowledge of self, as deep, as wide as you can. Learn to know yourself.
That's right.
2, the self-defense. You must develop a self-defense mindset. If you never think of how to protect yourself from whatever and anything that could come your way through what you look at, what you smell, what you hear, all the senses, the self-defense is key. And if you do not have a mindset of self-defense, you cannot protect your nation, your organization, or your family.
That's so true.
So do not take your life lightly. Some people are planning to erase our race.
Yeah.
And we are dancing carnival. Life is serious business. And you come from the very seed of life. The wind, the earth, the fire, water, that's your family. Learn to know them and respect them. They will also be your weapons when push comes to shove. Take your life seriously. Know yourself. Have a marvelous life in knowledge, in consciousness, in awareness. Thank you.
Oh God,
Nice.
we're gonna put that on that's gonna be our quote. That's beautiful. Nana Bello, thank you.
You're welcome.
Family, listen, I put the link. I saw a couple people say that they got they purchased the book already. Thank you. I put the link again for Professor Bello's because she was teaching. So Professor Bello's book is in the link. I'm sorry, the link, I can't even get this together. The link is in the chat, family. We always talk about like supporting, and a lot of times, everyone's watching podcasts and just getting information, but this is really, like when we watch people that look like us, we really need to also support people that look like us, so she can keep on, writing these books and getting it, really distributing them to everybody. This is excellent. And listen, the 7 loas, it is such, she talked about a couple of the principles, but one of the things that I really appreciate you saying is like, how do we start to use these principles? At first, it's identify them in ourselves. And I like the example that you used about, the institution building. I was just thinking about it like with my kids. like recognizing like, oh, okay, so this is who they are. This is like their primary one, but also exposing it to them so they understand that they can use all these others. They have all these other energies that they can use, and being able to will them at hand. Like that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Nana Bello, we wanted to thank everyone for just really supporting HAPI over these last couple of years, and so we created like a little HAPI box for people, and it goes. We have 10 of them, and it goes to 10 lucky viewers. But we give out one each time we do a live, and family. Listen, I'm putting the email address up here now. This is where you're going to send in your answer, okay? And I'm gonna tell you now, if you it just so happens the question that we have, like if you've been tapped into our Black History piece, you might have actually already know the answer. But let me just go quickly, briefly, because over what's in the box. So this is the box, family, right here. And I'm sorry. Okay, this is the box right here. It's the HAPI box. When you open it, it's right here. You see the HAPI symbol. Yeah. He was like
nice. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to send you a little box. I'm just really, it's like, I know Hassan and Taki are probably sick of me talking about this box because I am so.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I love it's like the opening of the box.
Yeah,
like this whole thing.
Yeah.
So of course we have our HAPI mug, and it's nice. It's 15 ounces, so it's not like a little mug. This is nice. Our brother Enoch Hankerson, he used to make maps with Dr. Ranoka Rashidi. He's made maps with a lot of people, but he's given us this map of Kemet for each person, and it's laminated. It's really nice.
Very.
Yeah, and then we have one of our he's actually in the chat today, Tina's Tillman. So he wrote this book right here. We had a whole conversation. He came on HAPI Talks and talked about it. After his son was murdered, he ended up channeling all the things that was going on, and he wrote this book called The 7 Keys of Personal Development for Street Survival, and literally he donated 10 copies to us, so everybody gets a copy of his book. And then we have a HAPI t-shirt, because you got to have HAPI gear. I gotta send you some HAPI gear. Yeah, you know what, because you've been rolling with us, I gotta send you, don't worry, I'm gonna get you a little box together. And family, and like you would know about this too, the One Africa community conference. Family, listen, Nana Bello came down there, and she was like, she lit the place on fire. This was really cool because initially we were supposed to have this conference in Egypt, and a bunch of little crazy stuff started happening. But every time I would call Nana Bello, she was just very calm. She's like, okay, what do you need for me to do? Okay, I'll be there, And right here, she came to the One Africa conference. And a cool thing about this commemorative book, that everybody was like trying to pick them up and take them away. But she's in here. Every person that spoke also wrote a piece about the power of unity. So Dr. Ken Harris was the MC. We had all type of people. Kaba, Infudishi, Juhutimis. Yep, there's little Miss Bayyinah Bello's page right here. Okay, so family, everyone will get a copy of this. And then because it's Africa and it's hot, and this is like so random, but I was like, no, everyone needs a little fan. And I didn't even think nothing about this fan till last time I was in Ghana. And I tell you, just a couple of the people had this fan, and I was like, "Wow, it's so powerful." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you got to get one." So everybody will get a fan, which goes along with the $100 gift certificate you get if you go on the ACAT Tours trip with us. You get a gift certificate for $100 off, and you also get a personal letter from myself, Taki, and Hassan, thanking you for supporting HAPI. Like that's super important. And that's it. And you get in a beautiful box that it comes in. So family, Miss Nana Bello, she is going to give us the question of the day. Okay. And okay, now Nana Bello, you can't give no little clues. Okay. No little clues. Okay.
Give me the text and I shall read.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up there. Let me see. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Which African-born woman is credited with influencing the early life and spiritual grounding of Haiti's first head of state?
Come on, family. We
Felicia,
got
Felicia, you still didn't get the music.
I know.
Music.
Yeah, we're gonna make some music. Maybe somebody in our out here that supports us can make the music.
True. Yeah.
That's what we need to get.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our person that's monitoring the email to see who's going to be the first person to send this in. So we just
I'll read it again. Which African-born woman is credited with influencing the early life and spiritual grounding of Haiti's first head of state?
Well, in the meantime, Mama Bello, do you have anything coming up that you want to share with us?
Yes. Let's see. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
March 7, I'll be having a book signing in Atlanta at the Zaka Boutique.
Okay.
That's March 7.
What's the name of the boutique?
Zaka. Zaka. Zaka Boutique.
Okay.
And on March 21st, I'll be presenting for IT Community Trust in Florida.
Oh.
On the first people of IT. And those are the things, and the two things my mind has retained for March.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. That's what's up.
Thank you for
All
sharing.
right. We have a winner.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right.
This question might have been too easy because we got a winner like right away. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna add, and you can say the answer.
Victoria Agbaraya Toya, known as Victoria. Actually, she's Agbaraya Toya, known in slavery as Victoria Montu. Okay? But her African name is Agbaraya Toya. And she was a general in the female army of Benin, of Dahomey at the time. And as you know already, women in the army could not marry, could not have children, could not have any relation. They had to keep all their energies to defend the nation until they had accomplished certain regulations, then, and certain victories in particular. Then they would be granted the right to create a home. And in this case, they would choose their husband, because no man had the right to even look at a military woman. When military women are going by, all men turn away from the street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who won, Felicia?
Oh shoot. I'm sorry. I was actually trying to find. I found the flyer. For Bayyinah Bello's event. I don't know why can't I see anybody. I don't know why I can't see anybody. So the winner is. Can you hear me, Hassan?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the winner is Joelle Sullivan. that's what's up. Yeah, he's traveled with us. You know Joelle?
Oui, Joelle Sylvain.
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up.
All right.
All right. Congratulations, Joelle.
Congratulations, Joelle.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. If he didn't know the answer to this, I'm like, come on. Like he has to know the answer to this. Um, but I did find your the event. Let me let me share with everybody that you have coming up on March 7th. Let's see, right there. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Professor Bayyinah Bello. Nice. Yeah, can I make that a little bit bigger for everyone to see it? Okay. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Wow. Okay. That's what's up.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, well, you know what? We're about to we're gonna close off the show, but thank you so much for coming on. And listen, you know, whenever you need for us, you ever need to, for us to do something, because you had a whole campaign at the beginning of the year and with the coloring book and this and that. I was like, man, but I didn't find out about it until like the last day. So, feel free to to like use us to get the word out for stuff. Nana Bello.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your energy.
Thank you very, very much for all the questions you asked. Even if sometimes the energy that came out to answer was
that's what we needed. That's what we needed.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I ain't never seen Nana Bello on a HAPI Talks use both hands in yelling.
I told you I got a plan. I told you I had a plan.
We're talking about different principles. I have to illustrate.
Yes. I like that. I was like, I ain't seen this little side of Nana Bello, but that's what's up.
Yes.
That's cool. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
You're
welcome. All right. So we'll be in touch, honey. Thank you.
All right. Take great care.
Is she going in the green room or? Okay. That's it. That's all right.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to go to the green room or not.
Oh, not the green room. Go ahead, Hassan.
Backstage, the green room, whatever you want to call it.
Talk over there. Listen, family, we are so close to this 37,000. So we need for you to make sure that you are subscribed to HAPI Talks. To the HAPI Film page. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are all up in this conversation this time, which we really appreciate. And also, family, make sure that I saw 2 more people said that they bought their book. The book is phenomenal. And it's one of these books where you need to sit and like really interpret it. But it's good because, listen, you just come back to this HAPI Talks and get the spirit of what she's talking about in the book. Get the book. Okay, family, make sure that you support Nana Bello. It's super important. And yeah, you have anything to say? Oh, and our Cash App. Thank you, family, for everyone who hit us up on the Cash App, because literally this your contribution goes a long way. And it's a continuous circle of us investing in people that look like us.
That's all I need to be said.
That's all. Yeah. That's all you got.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, we're gonna get out here, with this little blizzard up in New York City, and just kind of just bunker in for the next.
I gotta go get the shovel.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. All right, family. So until next time.
Yep. Stay happy. Peace.
Peace.
Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success.